Welcome back to another Big Gold Belt movie review from the Chicago International Film Festival. Today's film is the latest from Amy Adams, and this one is called Nightbitch. And here's a quick synopsis. An artist who pauses her career to be a stay-at-home mom seeks a new chapter in her life and everything that encompasses. When her nightly routine takes her on a surreal turn and her maternal instincts begin to manifest into canine form, we get to meet the real mother. And here, this film is directed by Marielle Heller, again stars Amy Adams. Nightbitch at first is listed as a horror comedy. There's no horror in this film. This is a direct comedy on motherhood. To put it kindly, this film just feels like it's a play on not taking responsibility for your actions and not wanting to be held to your actions. As the moment we're introduced to the mom here, played by Amy Adams, we just see exactly how mundane her life has become. As we were told that she gave up her career to be a stay-at-home mom, but we get to see her routine as a stay-at-home mom. Her cooking the same thing for breakfast every morning. Her dealing with her kid every day. Her having to take her kid places. Like it feels like the whole point of this film is to set up just how mundane her life is because of this decision to be a full-time mom here. And then we get introduced to a husband who, for some odd reason, just feels like the laziest person humanly possible. Being played by Scott McNairy in this film. And they play him in a way to make and build more sympathy for the mother. I mean, that's the best way to put it. I mean, it's no other way around this here. This film just feels like the whole purpose of it is to show us what single mothers of a certain persuasion and possibly income level have to go through to be single mothers, and that we should feel bad for them. Marielle Heller, who I absolutely love as a director, she did the Mr. Rogers film, which I absolutely love, and she's done other projects that she's been a part of, but the Mr. Rogers film was her last film before this one, which I absolutely love with her, that also starred Tom Hanks. Here in this film with Amy Adams, it just feels like the whole purpose of this is to make people feel bad for the mom, even though every decision made in this film was based off of what the mom wanted to do. And that's what I mean by the no accountability portions of it. And also, we also get the other instincts of it played as she's slowly but surely turning into a dog. Why is she turning into a dog? Don't know. That's the purpose of naming it Nightbitch, is that she's turning into a dog. And she embraces this life, this canine lifestyle that helps her deal with her child better. It helps focus her back into her direction on exactly the purpose of her life is. None of it makes any sense. You shouldn't ask for it to make any sense. If you attempt to find a way for it to make sense, I think you're just reaching. Like, this film, to me, it feels like a guilt trip on screen. You should feel bad for stay-at-home moms because of what they have to do, the anguish, the time it takes, that it is a real job. And to me, at no point in time does the film poignantly make the point that should be it. That being a full-time mom is a full-time job. It is hard. It is difficult. But here, along with leading how hard and difficult it is, it leans into an area that just makes it feel like men are useless. And that's because I'm a man, I'm feeling that way. It's just the form of direction of it here. It makes you feel like men are useless and that women should not be held accountable to the choices that they made, and that they should not, along with being held accountable to the choices they make, you shouldn't judge anything that they do. Because partially of this film, Amy Adams' character got everything she wanted. She gave up her career because she offered to. Like, she got everything she wanted because she just wanted to be the best stay-at-home mom humanly possible, and didn't realize it was too much for her to deal with. But then it's so much built up resentment with her husband, who's now the person who's working every day, but because he gets to escape the house and not have to be around their child all the time, it's a certain amount of guilt that's thrown on a husband because of this. And I think that's where the film started to lose me. And it was a multitude of moments, especially in the second and third act, where just accountability was not shown on the mother character. It was almost, it felt like the blame was strictly on the man. Even if it was points of the film poignantly shown to you, he didn't make those decisions. She made those decisions, but we're still going to blame him for it. And that's what takes away, for me, of Nightbitch even being an entertaining film to watch. There are comedic moments in it, but to me, they're comedic moments geared towards a certain audience. And that audience isn't stay-at-home moms. It's stay-at-home moms of a certain race that I think will possibly latch more onto this film than POC moms that stay at home, who will probably not be able to adapt or understand this film in any way, shape, form, or fashion, because some of the things that happen are kind of ongoing jokes amongst other communities about how white moms deal with children. And I don't think Marielle's goal was to lean into that, because that may be her story. But at times, to me, as if a filmmaker, you have to understand when you're digging into tropes that have already been told a multitude of times. And a lot of what we get to see Amy Adams' character go through are things that, from the outside looking in, we hear about white parents all the time. So it's kind of, you're kind of sitting back as an audience member like, it's expected. Like, you would allow your child to do things of this nature. Like, you would allow your child to run crazy humanly positive. You would allow your child to run over top of you. Like, these are things that just comes to the forefront of the mind, I think, of non-white parents while you're watching this film. That's why I mean, this is really geared towards one type of audience here, because any other type of audience would be like, well, you certain things you can do with that child and none of this stuff would happen. And then when we get to the transforming of the mom into a dog and what that is symbolizing about maternal instincts and all, it's amazing. But you undercut it all by making it where the mom should not be held accountable for any of her actions. And that's the problem with Nightbitch. It feels so single-minded and so offensive to anyone who's not a stay-at-home mom of a certain persuasion, including showing other moms who didn't give up her career, who they had to interject that they had nannies to survive, instead of, nah, I could just be a mom and do everything. I think it also downplays women's ability to say, I can do it all with no issue. Like, I can be a mom. I can work. I can do I can do this. Not saying that it's the situation you want to find yourself in, but this film downplays that as even being a possibility, unless you have so much help. Again, by bringing up the only mom outside of her tribe of moms that also had a kid and also worked in her profession, and then you had to give her a nanny and say that's the reason why. Because other than that, there's no way you can do the things you do without a nanny. And I think it just feels disrespectful. It feels disrespectful to the audience at times in this film, and it just feels disrespectful to the concept of what a stay-at-home mom is. At no point in time did I feel sympathy for Amy Adams' character, because at no point in time did we show any form of accountability for her actions or her thoughts. Instead, we get a multitude of scenes that says, I thought this, but you should have known better and you should have corrected me, which makes absolutely no sense here. Again, maybe if you are closer to the target audience, which I think the target audience, again, is a certain group of people, a certain race of people, that may find this entertaining. I think everyone else is just going to see it for what it is. It's just a male bashing film that also bashes any stay-at-home mom that has a nanny or any stay-at-home mom that wants help. That's it. You should be able to do everything on your own, and you should let your kids run amok over top of you. Like, all of those are tropes in this film that were so disingenuous to the situation, but also to the movie, and it makes the movie as close to unwatchable as a movie I saw this year at the Chicago International Film Festival. But Nightbitch, which I think also debuts wide next month, out of a scale from A to F, I am going to give Nightbitch a D. There's never a reason for me to watch this movie again. I think this movie is thoroughly disrespectful and super disingenuous to actual stay-at-home moms. I think they play up an angle here to build sympathy for this character, but they just disregard, again, any form of accountability that this character would have, and just any way that this character would actually be a strong stay-at-home mom. It's parts of this film where I didn't think this character should ever be left alone with anyone's child, let alone their own. Like, it's cringeworthy at times, the way they display this character. And if this is someone's life and someone is living this way, you need help. You need a nanny. You need something, because this is not going to work for you. And this is the wrong film to send that type of message to people. So again, it's not as entertaining if you don't see this through a certain point of view, and the point of view is so limited. This film is not entertaining. I think Amy Adams does an amazing job as a performance here, but I also think it's not enough given to her to elevate this movie in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So you're just going to see about 2 hours of, unfortunately, Caucasian woman complaining about motherhood and everyone around her, including if it was decisions that she made on her own. But check it out. Let us know what you think. This has been another movie review brought to you from Big Gold Belt. Peace, people.